Right now, I'm completely surrounded by abandoned buildings, including all the ones that you see behind me. For the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be road tripping countryside Japan. We're going to be taking a look at the sad reality of Japanese country towns, entering the Fukushima radiation zone. We're going to be camping and fishing and getting a true, authentic Japanese experience in our key car. I originally was going to do this video of just like a road trip, but seriously, this place is insane. Like, I actually can't fathom it. And we have some crazy plans for this 2-week road trip, but for now, you're going to see 2 days. Actually need this shit. Fucking slept like dog shit last night. Last night was probably the worst sleep that I've ever had in any of the accommodation. Worse than the fucking cheapest fucking capsule hotel.
That is the motorway.
Yeah, we're basically sleeping directly under the fucking highway, so it's so loud. But yes, it's time to go get our car and start day 1 of our road trip. Cadillac. There's definitely something hidden up the back there too.
Whoa, is that a Mazda?
Yeah, real funny. Real funny. For the next 2 weeks, we're going to be road tripping the Japanese countryside in this little key car. Key cars are like one of the most popular form of vehicle in Japan. So we're going to be taking this thing through the Japanese countryside, taking it through snowstorms, the abandoned towns of Fukushima, even the very narrow streets of Tokyo. 2 weeks of a whole variety of Japanese countryside. Let's see if this thing can tackle it. A key car is basically just like a normal car, but they're super popular here in Japan, and basically they're just a lot smaller than a regular car. But what we notice is they're also like way higher. Like the actual amount of space from your head to the roof is actually crazy. It can travel from 0 to 100 in about like 19.6 seconds. So yeah, it's definitely not a speed racer, but it's gonna get us to our destination. Does this mean it's technically a van if the doors slide like that? This is our cargo space. All of our suitcases and everything are going in here. But before we set off on our trip, I gotta see if we can actually fit everything inside this car. Success. Everything's loaded up in the car. Now we want to head to our first destination, but last night was rough, so I definitely think we're in need of a coffee. As you can see, I can barely touch the roof, it's so tall. So today's journey is only a 1 hour and a half, I think, drive. We're going to be stopping at different locations on the way, but the actual end destination is only like an hour and a half, so that's good. The reason that we actually chose this place is super dumb, and I'll go into it further as we actually get closer to the place, but I'm sure some of you know the brand Hitachi. We're just leaving the car running with the hazards on, and hopefully no one steals it, because trying to get a park in Tokyo, absolutely awful. Coffee shop's closed, we're not off to a good start. Okay, let's try coffee shop number 2. So Japan's a little bit different to Australia, where over Christmas, obviously in Australia, everything's shut. But on like Christmas Day, shops are just open here. It's not until after New Year's everything's shut for a few days, and that's like their public holiday. So yes, a lot of places say that they're open right now, but because it's like the public holiday or whatever, they're not. It's closed. Not having much success here. All right, we're going with the safe option because they never shut. We're going to Starbucks. Where the hell are we going right now? Check out this Prius. Why is it actually clean? I don't think I've seen anyone ever customize a Prius, but this one actually looks good. I have no idea where we are right now. I think this could be a hospital, but there's a Starbucks here. Random doors. We're currently at a university hospital. Finally, yay. Double cheeseburger, damn. I'm gonna go for the combo sandwich. This is probably the most random flavor of chips I've ever seen. Sea urchin and squid with cheese. Yes! So pretty much today we're traveling to Hitachi. Now some of you may know it by like the... brand, yeah, I guess it's a brand, but they manufacture like a whole heap of stuff. Fridges, trains, construction equipment. You've definitely probably seen like a Hitachi digger, also Hitachi wands, which yes,
The girls know about that.
Yes, the girls may know about those ones. Basically, Hitachi is a very well-known maker of stuff. And so the reason that we chose to go there is because first, it's on the way to our end destination, but we were just curious, like, what's it like actually in a Hitachi? Is there Hitachi stuff like everywhere? It just sparked my curiosity, and honestly, because of the memes, I'm sure some of you may have seen these memes before, but I pretty much just wanted to see what it's like in Hitachi, and we're going to be trying to see how many Hitachi items we can actually find. Realistically, we're planning on going to Hitachi Seaside Park. The Seaside Park is just this big park. The Seaside Park is pretty self-explanatory, literally a park on the water. We also wanted to go to this like glass cafe that kind of looks out over the ocean. So we have a few things planned, but we're really just winging it here. We're gonna just go there, see how it is, see what we can find, and just explore the area. Good sandwich. At the end of the trip, it adds it all up. And how first stop is this petrol station. Most buildings in around Tokyo and stuff are like tiny, but you get to this gas station and it's freaking massive. Now our mirrors won't go out. It's a little button just there. I don't know why it did it automatic before, but not this time. Yeah. Oh, geez. Now I don't know what happened back there, but there was something on fire on the side of the road and it looked like a lot of smoke. Well, we're about half an hour away from Hitachi right now, so I'm trying to keep my eye out for anything Hitachi branded. I'm curious to see whether the amount of Hitachi products increases the closer we get. Fuck me, it's so cold. Well, we finally made it to Hitachi Seaside Park. Hey Siri, what is the temperature right now?
You'll need to turn on location services for that.
Fuck. It says it's 7 degrees, but with this wind, it's probably closer to 1. I don't know what this is, but it looks cool. So Hitachi Seaside Park was opened in 1991, and there's approximately 190 hectares of land in this park. Well, the place is huge. It is quite possibly the worst day to come here just because it's so cold and dark, but we're still gonna have a fun time and enjoy it. I'm pretty sure it's actually just a truck. I wonder if that truck was Hitachi one. I don't know if Hitachi make trucks. There's like seating areas and like, you know, this park is accommodating for a lot of people, but it is pretty quiet here. When it's summertime and spring, I'm sure it would be a lot more interesting to see. Old style Japanese house. We got an old Japanese village, a BMX course, giant Ferris wheel and putt-putt.
A refreshing breeze blowing through the flowers and greenery filled city park.
Definitely refreshing and fucking get hypothermic. So first up, we're following the forest trail to, from what I understand, is like an old Japanese village with like old Japanese style houses like way back. So I'm super curious to see what this looks like. So we just got to the traditional Japanese village. Now I don't know if this is like a replica of an actual one or if this was kind of there to begin with, but it's super cool to see. The thatch roofs are insane. I can't believe how thick they are. Crazy. So they've got the tatami rooms, which you see in a lot of houses still today in Japan. My assumption is this was just some sort of living area. So I don't know how to pronounce it, but this is a daidokoro, in brackets, the kitchen. So it's basically like a pit in the ground with ash. That's hanging from the roof. So I guess you kind of light your fire in the middle. And then also just here, there's like 2 stoves. I guess you could put your bread in, whatever in there. I was curious about like the ventilation, but you can see there's like openings in the actual, where the thatch meets the outer edges of the house, so I guess the smoke just comes out there. So I'm just reading, and this was actually someone's house at one stage, and then they've moved it here. So this specific house and the one next door range from the 1600s to the 1700s, so very old. All right, now we're going to the top of that hill. Number 2, Hitachi construction machinery. Nice. Okay, it's actually starting to rain now, so we gotta go back down this hill. But yes, I find it funny when they actually built this place, looking out at the photos, there was literally nothing. But as you can see now, the coastline has become a lot more developed, so you've more got views of the port and construction areas rather than just like the sea. But this area is super famous during peak season because all of this area here, from what I understand, pretty much everything is flowers. But yes, at this current time, it's like fucking cobwebs. Hey. Hello. It is really nice walking through here, but obviously it's just not the right season for it. And also it's not really the right day for it because we're getting rained on. So I think we're going to call it quits here for now and head to our next destination, which I'm pretty excited to see. Okay, it's actually started to snow now. Look at all snow on you. Little ice walls. There's literally a whole roller coaster just through those trees. And then what looks like an entire fair in the background. I'm definitely going to come back one day to this place actually in the summertime. So now we're heading to Seabirds Cafe, which is like another cafe on the water that I just saw it before we planned this trip and it looked nice and the views look nice. So we're going to go check that out now.
Page 1, we've got it.
Whoa.
We're just gonna do it. Just walk and area like that.
Yeah. So far we've seen 2 massive Hitachi buildings. Hitachi. Me and Liv were just saying how it feels so much like an industrial sort of area, but I feel like this just wouldn't exist in Australia. Places that are literally right on the edge of the ocean, but like it's more of a, I guess in a way, like run-down industrial area rather than like a coastal town with, you know, waterfront houses and whatnot. Well, we've arrived at Seabirds Cafe and it is literally right on the sea. You'll see shortly. See? She sells by the seashore. Hitachi Station is crazy, but Liv seems to think that the cafe itself is, oh, that's it there. Whoa. That's another thing we said, because it's like winter and dark and cold right now, it's like beach towns just don't hit as hard, but the escalators are Hitachi branded. Nice. What did you think of dinner?
It was good.
You enjoyed?
Yeah.
Just a simple curry and we got a coffee. But now we need to find out where our hotel is because we think it's around here. Ooh, pajamas. We're gonna be wearing them soon, aren't we? I look like shit. But yeah, I think I've got a real serious case of sleep deprivation or anger towards lack of sleep. I'm sure some of you have never experienced a Japanese toilet before, so let me show you. A very advanced piece of machinery. Is it also Hitachi? Unfortunately not. But yeah, basically you can clean your private area. It does front and lady part. Also, your seat temperature you can adjust and make it hot or cold, and then I'm pretty sure that cleans the actual bidet thing. I gotta be real with you, I am so tired. So are you. But we have a very big day planned tomorrow. So there's actually a stop on the way to one of our destinations that I honestly can't wait to see. It looks insane. I've seen photos. So tomorrow's journey is taking us to Nikko. But on the way to Nikko, there was this popular onsen town in, I think, the 80s. It was super popular. People would go there. There was like quite high, like 10+ story buildings next to each other, kind of just on the river. But over the years, the amount of people that went to this specific onsen town went on a steady decline to the point that it's abandoned now. So we're going to be checking that out. And then also we took a different approach with the accommodation because we're going to be sleeping in a literally like a normal Japanese home. My guess is it was built in the 70s or 60s, but it is literally just a traditional Japanese house, not like a hotel or anything like that. For now, I'm going to get some sleep and I'll see you guys in the morning. Alright, Liv, say good night.
Night, you too.
Hitachi looks a lot better in daytime. Maybe we just had a bad opinion of it because it was so dark and dull and dim.
Dark.
I already said that.
No, it's still nice, but like you can see it in its full.
What's going on? Shit in Japan usually opens around 10 to 11 and the time right now is like 9 o'clock. But luckily Seabirds Cafe is open right now, so we're gonna go get a coffee there before we go and fish. As we drive into Nikko, we're starting to see some snow. One of the mistakes that we made last time was we drove into the snow, but we didn't have snow tires.
Or chains.
So we made sure we were prepared this time. We do have snow tires on right now, so we're not gonna slide out like last time. But still, driving in the snow in these little key cars is a challenge. We had dramas last time with the car getting stuck.
Jack, stop. It's not gonna happen, is it? No, it's not. Reverse it back. No. Getting up to 7,000 revs and moving it. Just clear the ice.
Egg and egg sandwich. Well, we're about 20 minutes away from the fishing place, but when we were getting fuel, I saw a building that was crazy. Like, I'm talking like a crazy amount of rare cars just sitting in this building. So we're gonna drive back and see if we can find it. I actually can't believe this. This is low-key in the middle of nowhere too. What in the world? It's a Countach, I think that's a Diablo. These are all like 80s, 90s, and then like recent Lamborghinis. Insane. Porsches, another Lambo, or another new Lambo. What's that, a Shelby Cobra up the back? Probably like 20 million worth of cars in here. More. Honestly, it's probably over 20 million. A classic Ferrari. Got all the classics up the back. Two people just caught one at once. I've caught one, but I lost it just as I reeled it in. Liv's line got tangled, so she's going to get that fixed, but I definitely think we're going to get a few fish here. No idea what this drink is, but it looked fun, so I bought it. We're going to be doing a review of the Lifeguard energy drink, maybe. Kind of tastes like some sort of lolly. Maybe even the Mother energy drink that we have in Australia.
Yes.
So Japan's got a real issue with bears as of lately, with like sightings increasing, attacks increasing. I don't know what it is, but I hear something in those bamboos right over there. So I'm like listening out, but then I look down there. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there is a fucking huge cage. And those cages, from what I remember last time, are traps. Now, it could be to catch a wild boar, or it could be to catch a bear. So I'm really hoping it's not a bear. There was one guy in specific that, I don't know whatever lure he had, but he was catching a lot. So in the 1980s, Japan went through what was called a bubble period, where pretty much they were economically at their peak. People had the most money, you know, business was booming, every industry was doing well. In that time, obviously a lot of buildings were built, hot spring towns, onsen towns, different things all throughout Japan, but obviously with the decline that Japan's been on, people don't have as much disposable income. So a lot of those towns that may have been booming in the past, they kind of slowed down to the point where people just stopped going because they couldn't afford it, or it just wasn't worth it. There's multiple reasons why people stopped going to places like these, but we're currently on our way Kinugawa Onsen town. Now, this is right on a river, but basically there is like multi-story buildings completely abandoned. So we're heading there now. Hopefully we can kind of get inside the buildings, or at least have a look around at what's left of this town. Also, this is what I was talking about before when I said that cage. It looks like some sort of trap.
Abandoned pachinko machine.
So we're starting to see a lot more of the abandoned buildings. We're about 15 minutes away from the Onsen town, but what you saw just then was a like replica Mount Rushmore. Just over behind us is a abandoned theme park. I think it's called the Wild West Town, but it's been abandoned for literally years. Maybe we can head to there later on in our trip. It seems like there's still a lot of super active and obviously newer hotels and stuff like that, but you definitely notice that some of them look super run down and old. It's actually insane because some of these places are huge. Like, I actually can't get over how big they are, but as you can see, that building in front of us is totally abandoned. The windows are smashed. I think same with the one just to our right there. So we've parked up and we're gonna hop out and have a look around because this is like, I can't even explain it. I did not expect the buildings to be this large. Like, these are huge buildings and there's multiple of them right on the river that are just totally abandoned. Even this shop here kind of looks...
Yeah, it was hard to tell if it was abandoned or just like run down.
That's high up. But what we want to do is kind of head up the river, not up the river itself, but along the river and see what other buildings have been left behind in this place. Damn, and they are built like right on the edge of the water. That's crazy. Honestly, this is such a freaky town. I don't know what it is. Let's see what other ones we can find. Whoa. See, I saw this one and I kind of assumed it would still be open because it doesn't look overly bad. Like, there's some back there that obviously you can tell they were built in the 80s, but this honestly does not look that old, so it's weird to me that it's shut. This is crazy. We've seen at least 10 like huge buildings, but the spot I've just got to now gives you the true feeling of how bad this place really is. Wow. Every single building there has been abandoned, totally abandoned. As you can see, the windows are smashed. That is insane. It's just baffling that something this large scale can be left totally abandoned. Even the houses have been left abandoned. Looks like an abandoned Panasonic building. It's sad to think that like maybe in the 80s or whatever, this place would have been super busy. Like, it's actually such a nice spot. It's right on the river. Obviously the buildings themselves are huge, so I can imagine back in the day them being like quite a popular spot. It's just super sad to see it like this. There's a footbridge down there that looks insane. Low-key, I'm nervous to cross it, but we'll see if Liv wants to. Do you want to go across?
So scary.
Let's go. Some sort of prints in the snow. Check that. The vines have taken this building over completely.
Did you do that?
Yeah. No, I didn't do it on purpose. Okay, this is actually freaky. Yeah. So right now we're walking along like the back area of those huge amount of buildings that you've seen. Something that I kind of thought about as well, and this is just a thought, like I don't really understand, is the location part of the reason as to why they've not been like knocked down? I thought maybe in this case it's due to the fact that they are literally right on the edge of a cliff. Like, the amount of work that's gone into it just to be able to build these things is crazy. It's just nuts. Like, I do not trust walking on them when it's so badly rusted. Tonight we wanted to do something a little bit different from our normal kind of stay, and we've actually rented out just like a traditional Japanese home. I thought it could have been fun for the video, and I really like Japanese houses, but I've never actually stayed inside one, so hopefully this place is nice. See, this place is huge. This may be one of the ones that kind of like survived that I guess the bubble bursting. Even some of the buildings that are obviously still opened, You can see that they're, you know, barely hanging on.
Shit going on.
I'm living out my Japan house fantasy right now. You get it open. So let me give you a tour of what a Japanese home would look like. Bathroom. They're very into the coloured bathrooms, I've noticed. So we have a pink bathroom. Also, yes, I would probably hit my head quite a lot if I lived here. Entranceway. Coming through here, we have like the living area. I really like on the sliding doors, those details, and just like certain things like that are super cool. There's 2 beds set up down here in this area. Then we have a kitchen and dining area again. And then we have the toilet, which is, yes, fancy one. What do you think of our room for tonight?
It is cute.
Sleeping on the floor, aren't we? That's the Japanese way. Time to go and get some dinner. Robot. So the video is over, but the road trip is just starting. If you do want to follow along on our road trip, please subscribe to the YouTube channel and drop a like if you did enjoy this video. But yeah, tomorrow, Fukushima, we need to get some sleep. Say goodbye, Liv.
Bye.
Goodbye, or good night. See you tomorrow.